morning, Elite, and welcome to another episode of Good Morning Elite, right here, presented by your friends at Elite POV. I am your host slash producer for the morning show every Saturday morning live at 10 a.m. Well, when we can be here, live Saturday morning at 10 a.m. My name is Kyle Masters, as always, joined by two members of the Elite POV team. We'll first start with the Coqui, Jacky Rodriguez. What's going on, Jacky?
Buenos dias, everybody.
Buenos dias.
Got my Dunkin' iced coffee that has no ice in it because apparently my fridge isn't cold enough to sustain it, but it's still cold. So
I was about to say, did you wake up early just to go to Dunkin'? Or was it from another
Hell
day?
no. See, I have a whole plan of action. Friday after I get out of work, I go pick up my iced coffees, one to have at that moment, and one to stick in the fridge so I can have it for Saturday morning. And it didn't fare so well, but it's still caffeinated, and that's all I care about.
It's funny because I was just telling these two before we went on air, like I just invested in a coffee cup warmer because it's like I can't pick it up now because it's on because it'll burn my hands off. But it's a little disc, guys, about this big, and it literally warms your coffee cup as your coffee cup sits there. People that know what it is are like, yeah, we know, we get it. But I got one, and it's an amazing investment. So I highly suggest if you're a coffee drinker, always get upset that coffee gets so cold really quick. Get yourself a coffee. You know, I just like plugged an ad for this thing. Can we just get sponsored?
All right, Excalibur,
already?
yeah. All right, Excalibur.
Now join us next Friday on Rampage. The other voice
brought
here,
to you by Amazon.
The other voice here is the man himself, Phil Cataldo, my fellow wrestling best friend. Or sorry, my fellow. See,
here we go.
Don't
it's
recover.
Already started.
That's it. My fellow.
Every morning show, it's the same with me because I can't function in the morning before 12 p.m. But that is
Kyle.
I was gonna say my fellow nerdy best friend, or newly nerdy best friend, Phil Cataldo. Phil, how you doing this morning?
I'm chilling, loving life. We have this great Kenny Omega interview that just came out that I can't wait to talk about. And I saw Uncharted last night, and it was great.
You did? Okay, so I've been very interested in that movie because when I first seen the commercial, I'm like, oh, okay, it's based off the video game, like when it was first starting. Then I watched more of the trailer, and I'm like, oh, like I really want to see this movie.
Listen, some people are disappointed because they don't follow the game.
What else is new?
Chronological order, which is impossible because a little side note before we get into wrestling, the movie is basically starting at Uncharted 4 because that's when the main character is a kid and Tom Holland. Also, forget the movie. Let's talk about something. All right, I didn't tell you guys yesterday, but nothing made me feel older sitting in that theater than the fact that Tom Holland had a younger character play a younger him. I was like, hold on a second.
Really?
I know Tom Holland's like 24 now, but like he still looks super young. But like there was a little kid actor who played a like 12-year-old Tom Holland in the movie. And I was like, hold on.
That's crazy.
I'm too old now.
Wow. I mean, people just got to think, like when Tom Holland's older, you know they're going to make another Uncharted where it's an older version of the Uncharted, right?
Yeah. Listen, the way it ends, they're teasing a franchise. So go see the goddamn movie, people, because I want to see all these movies.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we got a lot to get into this morning, guys. More news talk than anything because Rampage was like okay last night. We'll get into that because I do want to talk a lot about the main event because I really think Jay White is a big deal. That's why I kind of made him the thumbnail of our show today. But Kenny Omega interview just came out. It was said last night. It came out, I think it was this morning or late last night. He had an interview with Dave Meltzer. And it was a pretty heavy interview. He talked about a lot of stuff, his injury update. He talked about the AEW video game, which I have some updates on. But the most importantly, talked about Cody Rhodes. And my God, I'm clearly with the shirt I'm wearing, I'm a huge Kenny Omega fan. The fandom just grew because this man agrees with myself and Phil on our view on this situation. So I was so happy to read that. Also got some Rey Fenix injury updates as well. And then we'll talk about the Wrestling Observer newsletter awards that everyone seems to be so mad about. That's okay. It's because they're not a fan of AEW. That's why. But we'll start with Kenny. You know what? We'll start with Rey Fenix. Kenny Omega will be like the main event of the news.
Yeah.
Updates.
All right.
Okay. We'll start with Rey Fenix. So I read that Rey Fenix was actually supposed to be back already. but his injury is going to keep him out longer than expected. Not that long. So he's about a month away from coming back. He suffered no broken bones, which was good. It was just badly dislocated his arm. So he's been in a sling. He says he's recovering really well. He really wanted to come back early, but they're going to keep him out at least another month, and then he'll be back. So that injury was,
it looked like it
rough,
could have
right?
been 10 times worse than what it really ended up being. I could have sworn that he snapped his elbow like
Right?
completely in half, but for it to, I don't want to say only be dislocated because that's still bad enough as it is, but for it to not be infinitely worse than that, I think he got really lucky.
I'm just happy that from where we were sitting in the building, we couldn't see it. Like I've somehow avoided seeing these like major injuries like live on camera. Like, I didn't watch WWF, or it was a WCW when Psycho Sid like broke his leg. Like everybody always shares the clip. Like I didn't watch it. I still never watched it, right? And I didn't. Every time someone seems to get hurt, like it's either something I'm not watching live or like I'm in the building, so like it's on the other side. So we lucked out. But I mean, hey, it's gonna be great to have Ray Phoenix back, and just really, really lucky that it wasn't like a career-altering injury. Like he wasn't gone for years, because it looked horrible.
It looked gnarly.
Yeah, and you have to think like the story has to be going towards a Death Triangle versus House of Black.
Oh yeah,
3-on-3 match, right? So hopefully he gets better soon and then gets back to the ring so we can get that match. It's probably not going to happen at Revolution. It'll probably happen either in between Revolution and Double or Nothing. Can't see them pushing it that far, so it'll be like at a special, or it'll be like a main event of Dynamite or something. We'll get it probably on a Dynamite. Hopefully not a Rampage. I really want to see that on a Dynamite. I do have. Okay, we'll talk about the Wrestling Observer Awards. So, God, did I keep that tab up? I don't think I did.
Listen, AEW. A quick recap while Kyle's getting the tab up for people watching live and listening back. AEW won all the good awards. It seems like a majority, like a high percentage. They won all the good awards. And then I don't know why the fuck they have bad awards. I feel like that you're just fanning the flame of the wrestling community by saying what sucked, which I think is weird. But all the bad awards were won by WWE. So it's like, and my thing is this, before people, because we might have people who listen to this who still watch both shows and
that's fine.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That's fine. But what I'm saying is, I was thinking about this before we went live, right? If you go on social media, right? 9 out of 10 times after an AEW show, the comments are positive, right? How was this the best Dynamite ever?
Yeah.
Oh, it was so much fun, whatever. And 9 out of 10 times, because I still follow a lot of the WWE wrestlers, I still follow a lot of people who watch WWE, a lot of the comments after the shows aren't what they liked about the show, but as more as what they didn't like. Oh, why is my favorite wrestler not getting pushed? Why was this only a minute? Why was there a 30-minute? Like, whatever. Like, we've been WWE fans for years, so we understand. So when an award show reflects that, don't get mad at the award show and say that they're like AEW apologists or whatever. Like, all you got to do is go on social media and you can see that that's like the thoughts and opinions of like the majority of the outspoken part of the wrestling fandom, you know?
And these are fan voted. So like nothing was preventing the WWE fans from going in and voting for WWE. You gotta think that too. Like this was fan voted, guys. This is not like Meltzer and his 3 homies sat together and said, you know what, let's pick this, this, and this, and this, and then release it. No. They even put the results of how many people voted for each. So let's tone that down a little bit. So I'm not gonna read the bad results. So
it doesn't make sense.
The wrestler of the year went to Kenny Omega. He won by a pretty big landslide as well. They call it the Luthez Ric Flair Award.
Nice.
No outstanding wrestler was Shingo Takagi from New Japan. Mm-hmm. Tag team of the year was the Bucks. MJF won best on interviews. Mm-hmm. Promotion of the year was AEW. Second was Stardom. I do want to give a shout out to Stardom. Stardom is actually really good. I've caught a couple of Stardom matches. For the fandom that Stardom has and the people that like promote the hell out of it, it's legit, guys. Stardom is actually really good. And Kairi Sane just signed back. Her name is now just Kairi.
Oh, did she really?
Yeah.
Yes.
So she's back with Stardom. Match of the year was Young Bucks, Penta, and Phoenix. The steel cage match at All Out. The U.S. Canada MVP was Kenny Omega. The Japanese MVP was Shingo Takagi. Mexican one was El Hijo del Vikingo.
Oh, he's the champion now, isn't he?
I never
Yeah, he's
heard
the
of
guy
that
who won the AAA championship, I think.
And the European champion is Will Ospreay. So good for him. Women's wrestling MVP was Utami Hayashishida, that won literally by only 20 votes over Britt Baker. So that was very, very close. Feud of the year was Kenny and Hangman Page. Bryan Danielson won the best. This is a cool stat because Bryan Danielson has won best technical wrestler. The title was held by Zack Sabre Jr. for the last 12 years.
Jesus.
Bryan Danielson.
The streak is over.
559 to 380. Zack Sabre Jr. He won by a landslide. Bruiser Brody Memorial Award best brawler was Moxley. Most over. Okay, I'm not gonna read the bad ones. Okay. Most underrated. This is a good one. It was Ricochet from WWE.
See,
and
we
he
can
won.
agree that.
And he won by a massive landslide. Rookie of the year was Jade Cargill.
Yep.
Best.
And before we go to the next one,
Yep.
because I've seen a lot of talk online about this, because people are stupidly sharing like gifs or clips of her like botching moves. It's Rookie of the Year. She didn't win fucking, MVP. She won Rookie of the Year. And if like, it's more, obviously pro wrestling is more than just like the in-ring thing. It's what her persona is, her character. Like, she is a star, whether you want to believe it or not, based on her in-ring work. She's an absolute megastar, and nothing proves that more than all these reports coming out that WWE wants to fucking sign her when her contract's up. Like, if that doesn't show you that you're a star and you're having a great rookie year, I don't know what is. And she's the first ever TBS champion, and she's still undefeated, and she looks fucking fantastic in that green money suit.
Also, good luck to WWE trying to sign her because they treated her like dirt when she was first there. So, good luck.
It's just so annoying to me. I'm just gonna go on a small tangent here.
Go ahead.
Like,
I totally forgot about our cams.
I feel like at her being a rookie, like she is, that's legitimate. Green is not the worst thing that you can be when you are in your first full year of being a professional wrestler. Is she green? Yes. You're supposed to be green at this freaking junction of your career. Is she unsafe? I don't think so. To me, being an unsafe worker, and there are people that have been in this industry for a long time that have been deemed time and time again by their peers as unsafe workers. That to me is a problem. Being green is not an issue. She will improve. She's been working hard on it. I think if you look back from day one till now, you can see there's a lot of improvement. There are people that have been at this shit forever that still botch moves in matches. Leave Jade alone. Like, holy shit. It's like people are just waiting to jump on her for any stupid little thing to criticize her. At this point, it's getting old. I'm over it. And that's what I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, like Kimmy, how dare you make fun of her green hair? Insider
her green
Kimmy.
hair is dope, man.
Insider Kimmy, how dare you? Anyways, best major wrestling show was All Out. Second place actually was Full Gear. I'm not going to read that one. Promoter of the year was Tony Khan, behind Dana White.
Which is funny. I didn't know UFC people and MMA world were in the pro wrestling awards, but sure.
Tony Khan won 748 to Dana White's 144, so that was kind of a landslide. Best booker was Tony Khan. Best non-wrestler was Paul Heyman, so congratulations to him. He won by 5 votes over Don Callis.
Oh, interesting.
So that was a close one.
Carrie's not going to be happy about that. Carrie should have voted 6 more times.
Best flying wrestler was Rey Fenix by a landslide. The Hodge Award non-heavyweight MVP went to Darby Allin.
Okay.
Ty Conti won most improved.
Yes, he
well
did.
Deserved. There's actually some good notable names on here. So like Ty Conti was 1, Dante Martin was 2, Saya Kamitani from Stardom is 3, Jeff Cobb was 4, and Jungle Boy was 5. So
how was Jeff Cobb 4? Jeff Cobb has been awesome. He didn't. What did he improve?
I don't
did
know.
he become a god? Like, I don't understand.
I read that. I'm like, all right. Best weekly TV show was Dynamite, followed by Rampage in second place. Not gonna read that one. Best gimmick was Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns won by 10 votes over Orange Cassidy.
Look at this. Orange Cassidy almost dethroned Roman Reigns, who is a world champion and hasn't lost that belt in almost 2 years, right? And Orange Cassidy was only 10 votes behind him. And still people try to tell me that Orange Cassidy is not a main event level talent. I'm tired of it, bro. The money backs it up. The fan votes back it up. The merchandise sales back it up.
He's got
the ratings back it up.
He now has a jean jacket on the shop that you can buy.
Which, little side note, okay? AEW, all right? You need to hire Kerry because that jean jacket is subpar at best. Kerry has made some exceptional jean jackets.
Hell
Even
yeah.
one of them that Orange Cassidy wore on AEW Dark, okay?
And you don't have to look far. It's your head booker of the show, so just go over.
Just go over to Kerry's office in Daly's place, knock on her door, and say, "Can you please make us some great jean jacket merch?"
Exactly. Not gonna read that one. Not gonna read that one. Not that one. Sorry. Zack Sabre Jr. was a 7-year streak. I blew that one.
That's still a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, congratulations to like everyone that won awards. Again, they're fan voted by everybody. Anybody from any fan of a company can go in and vote. So good.
Another great victory for AEW. Right? I mean, if you don't watch AEW and you stumble upon that award list, like, how do you not at least give it a try? Right?
Yeah.
Like, even if it was a bunch of AEW fans just blowing, like K-pop fans, right? Just going in there and completely taking it over and you know, whatever. Like, you at some point you have to be like, all right, let me try this out. You know what I mean? Like, they won everything good, pretty much. Them and New Japan and Stardom, right? Like, they won pretty much everything.
By the way, it was just found out that the Cody Rhodes in Poland photo was photoshopped.
Great.
Yeah. So some clever photoshopping.
I
Wrestling
love the
fans.
internet so much.
Yeah. So we talk about the wrestling game, AW wrestling game, the console game that everyone's dying to look forward to. So Kenny Omega actually provided some updates on it. So this is what these are quote from his interview with Dave Meltzer. He put, "I don't want to promise at the pay-per-view, which is Revolution, or in the pay-per-view week, but we are hoping to possibly show a little more of where we are at and a little bit more progression, revealing possibly new characters. We want it to feel like how a match would flow, but within a video game. So the matches will probably be, in general, go a little bit quicker, but we want them to feel like the user is able to assume the role of their favorite AEW superstar." So that is the small update. We looking like we're getting some sort of update during the week of Revolution.
Yeah, so if people remember, the last update we got, like big update, right? I think it was at FanFest last year. It was one of the FanFests last year,
Yeah.
right? That's when we got like a big update and we saw more stuff with the game. I think they did like a panel. It might have been at last year's Revolution where like Aubrey and all them were kind of talking about it.
And this is going to be
Or
big.
maybe it was at Double or Nothing.
Like, this is going to be AEW's first console game. Like, I think WWE's had console games forever, like dating back to like N64 when like No Mercy was like the video game, and then like the creators of that, some of the creators that made that game are on the team for this AEW console game. So, I have high hopes for this console game. It's going to make AEW if it's a really good game, and I think that's why it's taking so long to make, and they're putting so much effort into it. It's going to make AEW a lot of money. So
especially with how polarizing, I think is a good word, the WWE games have been the last few years, right? With everybody still playing 2K19 and everyone hating 2K20 because of how bad it was at launch and how glitchy and messed up it was.
Yeah.
And then now we have 2K22, which looks great, but every day we're getting told different information that's making people go back and forth, right? At first, the GM mode looks great, but now some of the details that are coming out with people getting early builds of the game going, ooh, actually, it's not as cool as they made it seem. Like, it's actually very limiting what you could do there, especially for people like Kyle and Ant who do eFeds. I think AEW can, if they make the game where it's eFed friendly, could not only make a lot of money, but kind of control the narrative on, you know, the gaming side of things.
Yeah. And it's actually cool and perfect timing that if they do release information about this game, it's literally during the early release week of 2K22.
Yeah, which is funny. Yeah.
But
Like,
yeah,
I'm
so we have
much of a gamer over here, but I'm I'm waiting for the game to come out because I can guarantee you that is a game that I will go ahead and invest in a console for, because I used to love those WWE games when they came out back on the old PlayStations and N64. Yes, I'm dating myself. But I would love to see what they do with this AEW console game and give it a try for
I
myself.
don't know. I didn't really remember. Someone in the chat does remember. Put it in the chat. I don't know if they're going to do this one for PC, because they might. If they do it for PC, you might be able to download it. You have a laptop, right? You may, if you have enough room, be able to download on a laptop, but you probably want to invest in a console anyways. Then you can play Fortnite with us there, Jacky.
Yeah, then I can finally stop being a lawyer in everybody's game nights and actually join.
But anyways, I'm excited for the console update. I can't wait to get that during the week of Revolution. Now, lastly, we'll get into Kenny Omega's interview. So start off with his health update first, then we'll get into the juicy details. So these are quotes from the interview with David Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer Radio. So this is about his update. I was hoping to be back by February. It's not working that way anymore. That's not to say that there was a huge snag or something that's terribly wrong. It's not that. I'm just trying to get my appointments and things fixed, because due to COVID and everything, he said that he's had to move a lot of appointments around, and he's had to cancel some. So now, like, they've all been pushed forward. He's got to wait for those appointments now. He says the training is going well, though. Once I'm able to get the knees fixed, the neck fixed, and the hernia and all that stuff, hopefully I'm able to move around much better than I was before. And like a guy who was doing what he was doing 10 years ago. So he's working on getting back to that Kenny Omega that we all remember from New Japan Pro Wrestling. I remember him also saying, and that was the end of the quote here that I have in front of me, but I also remember him saying, because I listened to it this morning, that he's not looking to be, like, he's never the guy that be like, as big as he is, he's like, I'm not looking to be like a powerhouse wrestler. Like, that's not me. I'm not looking to get that big or get huge or get bigger. Like, he's like, my key thing is being agile in the ring and being that quick wrestler. So he's working on that while he's training and getting better. So, fingers crossed. I don't know if he might not be wrestling soon, but hopefully we'll get him back soon.
All the fingers crossed.
I'm gonna hope it's most likely gonna be in between Revolution and Double or Nothing, right?
Something like that.
I hope so. I miss him so much. And it's not to say that the product without him being there has stagnated in any way. It's not a knock on anybody and what they're doing or what they're not doing. It's just something very special that Kenny always brings to every show. And I've just felt his absence greatly since he's been gone.
And like, oh man, I'm thinking about it. We might actually get Kenny and Adam Double or Nothing main event.
We might. Well, if Adam beats Hangman, which I think it would be so funny. And shout out to Ant in the chat. We missed you, right?
Yeah, we missed you too. Sometimes.
So that pop thing. So the thing, which I love Hangman now. All right, thanks to Carrie breaking me down over the years and getting me invested in a Hangman story. I love Hangman, and I do not want to see him lose the title. But let me fucking tell you something. If Adam Cole beats Hangman at Revolution for this championship, I might myself burn wrestling Twitter down. Because the fact that we go from, I want like a timestamp. I want people to go on fucking Twitter and be like, yo, and have receipts, bro. And be like, yo, 3 weeks ago, you said Adam Cole wasn't shit, and now he's world champion, and he's the fucking background of your phone. Yeah. Now you're fucking all about the boom fucking flag waving it. Like, I don't want to hear it, bro. I don't want to fucking hear it. These people out here were like, oh, he's going against Orange Cassidy, and so they're using him like shit. And then now he's in a main event storyline with Hangman, and now, like you said, Kyle, potentially maybe he wins the belt and he's on to face Kenny. Like, this is why you got to be fucking patient about things, all right? Because you never know at any point when, and he's still undefeated.
Sorry, that was quote of the year. And now look, you're all about that boom.
Yeah. Jesus, bro.
It was the background of the phone that popped.
Because it's so true. It is so fucking true. It's so crazy to me because this is where like my biggest, and I was thinking about this morning, right? Like people say other fandoms are toxic or bad, Star Wars, Rick and Morty, whatever, sports, right? But what is it about those? Why is pro wrestling getting me so angry? It's because people's opinions change on a daily basis. And it's not just like, oh, I was wrong, or oh, I see the light a different way. It's just as passionate the other way. So it'll be like, I fucking hate Roman Reigns and whatever, he's the worst. And then AEW starts and it's like, actually Roman Reigns is the best wrestler of all time.
See, like,
I don't know, I've never said it.
I'll admit I'm one of those people, but I'm not out there tweeting and hating on
No,
people
we
and commenting on
are.
people's tweets and going, oh, how dare you, piece of
No,
shit.
but
Adam
listen,
Cole's
I'm not saying I'm different to that. We
Yeah.
are all like that. We all have the right to change our minds and be passionate about whatever we want to be passionate about. But it's the point of like the complete 180 on social media and then acting like you never said it. Like, fuck Adam Cole. They're not using him for shit. And then he has a dad bod. You saw that fucking loser with the sign in the crowd this week. I guarantee you that fucking dumbass, right? I want to see what the fuck his body looks like. Probably looks like dog shit. Probably looks like Jabba the Hutt out here, right? Then Adam Cole wins the belt. I guarantee you he's going to have the fucking little toy belt in his room like, boom, boom, I knew it. Yeah. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Yo, we're putting out a t-shirt, and now you're all about that boom, Phil Cataldo 2022. But yeah, I'm excited. So excited for this. So we'll get into the juicy details about Kenny's interview and concerning one person, Mr. former EVP, Cody Rhodes. But first he put, he quoted this: I feel like there's an opportunity to tell a really interesting story about Adam Cole at some point. I don't know when. I don't know when. You just gotta feel it out. I don't like ever being bound to something by a certain time, especially the EVPs. We know our deal's up. In the case of the Bucks, when their opportunity kick in, for myself, I don't have a deal with that. I'm up next year, just straight up done. I would have to re-sign. That's some more stuff about his contract. So here we go. We go into the Cody details. Everyone, strap yourselves in, buckle your seatbelt. Here are the lines from Kenny Omega about the Cody Rhodes situation, because he did weigh in on it. When this thing AEW first started, the most passionate person of the revolution, the most passionate person of creating the us versus them mentality was Cody Rhodes. It was strange for him to choose to just up and walk away. Maybe in the end, we had the Bucks and their vision and my vision and Cody's vision. All of our visions are different. I would say mine was more similar to the Bucks had envisioned, and Cody's was much different. Though my professional relationship with Cody was great, he's not a guy that I can go and get Diet Pepsi with on my off time. I don't know what he personally feels about anything. I can only guess as to why he would have left. That's sort of where the Bucks and I differed from Cody. We never want to go to war with Vince and WWE. We just want to give people an option to get us a platform for our brand of storytelling and our style of wrestling. When Cody had his way of going about things, I wasn't sure how to follow up with that, nor was I interested. There was Kenny doing this thing, the Bucks doing this thing, and Codyverse over there doing whatever it was that he does. I heard Cody Rhodes was on a flight to Saudi Arabia, and if that makes him happy, then that makes him happy. Again, the Bucks and I, we weren't in this for the war. All the guys and gals in WWE are doing their thing, always wishing them the best for those people. AEW is very much Tony Khan's thing and baby, where they're the support in it in any way that we're there to support it in any way that we can. It is very possible that this current version of AEW wasn't a good fit for Cody. And then it goes on. I think that he saw it with his AEW deal up as an opportunity to investigate something within wrestling or life in general that would bring him more happiness. End quote.
So I let everybody start on Wednesday, but I want to start this week. That further fucking pushes the narrative that I've been saying of Cody was the fucking leader of the revolution and he fucking abandoned us, right? And even Kenny and said it in an interview, him and the Bucks never wanted this like toe-to-toe war. That was always a Cody thing, right? Cody was the one with the microphone in front of the fucking San Jose Stadium when they were out there, right? Like, Cody's always been the one pushing it. He's the one that says the most stuff in promos. It's always the Cody promos. where he mentions WWE.
Yeah,
he
the
takes
Bucks.
shots.
The Bucks only made fun of it on BT, but they always did that for years, even before AEW.
Yeah. But the Bucks are like more like in a sarcastic way. Like Cody was basically saying it without saying it, right? Even to recently that ladder match promo where he just like basically said WWE the whole time, right? And so it's like, even to see it from that perspective, the Kenny and the Bucks perspective, right? Especially Kenny, he's the one to interview. Like, it sucks, right? It sucks that you have somebody where there was like the group of them, right? There was the Elite, the Bullet Club in Ring of Honor, right? With the Bucks, Cody, Kenny, Marty, and Hangman, right? Marty had all that crazy stuff go on, right? In his personal life. So he's fucking, who knows if he'll ever come back to wrestling now. But then now you have Cody leave. So it's just back to like basically Ring of Honor / New Japan before Cody even got there, right? It's those guys are the tightest, right? And it's great to see that at least they're staying together. And it's crazy that even people within the company are like, I'm shocked Cody didn't sign, because he was just as a part of this as any one of us was.
Yeah.
And Captain Quinn, I don't want him back. I know he'll be back one day, but I don't want him back. I don't want him back, bro. You left. Go back where you were, where they treated you like shit, apparently, because you said it in every interview, where they treated your wife like shit, because she said it in every interview, where they use your dad's legacy in a way that doesn't make sense in a tag team tournament.
Stole your last name and wouldn't give it back.
Yeah, just like you. This is things that I'm saying. These are things that he said in interviews, right? All that shit is true, but for a little bit of money and a little bit of a different booking style, you fucking go running back. Have fun with your blood money in Saudi. Had fun losing to Goldberg. Have fun fucking facing Ricochet on main event. All right, have fun.
Well, Phil, it's worker shoot, brother. What are you saying here?
Whoa,
he's talking about Cody Rhodes.
Sammy Guevara. I'm talking about Sammy Guevara. Worker shoot, brother.
Insider
more
Kimmy
inside
even says
jokes.
he's not coming back, and this was actually from a source that Kimmy was talking about. She's talking to me about this. He's not coming back. He's told the source that he's not coming. I know it's wrestling business. It's the never, quote unquote, never.
Everybody goes back.
Never. Everyone goes back. I mean, look, Cody's going back to WWE. He said he's never
I'm
going to
sure
go back
if
there.
they ever create a Hall of Fame, that Cody would come back. Like, I think no matter what John Moxley says, one day when the Shield goes into the Hall of Fame, Moxley will go back. Maybe not to wrestle, but he'll go back and he'll be a part of it.
You know what I think it is going to be? There's going to be like a clause in Moxley's contract that he's still tied to AEW, but he's only going there to be in the Hall of Fame. Like, they're going to work it on a deal.
Yeah. Like, I'm sure Jericho will go back eventually. If me and Carrie get what we want, he gets to go back over there. But I don't know. It's just crazy that this story, like, as we move on now, like in this next phase of AEW that doesn't include Cody Rhodes, so many things are going to start to come out, whether they're true or not. It's just going to be very interesting to see like everyone's side of the story, because of course, I forgot who was reporting it. I think Sean Rossap reported it or something, where it was like the locker room wasn't as sad as it was perceived on Twitter, right? Like, there was actually people that were happy he was gone. So it was like, I mean, we'll see over the next 6 months to a year.
That's like we said in the POV. Like, there's going to be that's got to be true. It's there most likely was a split in the locker room of how people felt about Cody leaving, and you know, some people liked it, some people didn't like it, some people were upset that he was leaving, some people, you know, probably rejoiced because they didn't see eye to eye with Brandon Cody, and that's fine because they're not going to see eye to eye with everybody clearly, and that's like that's like any company, it's like any business that you're in.
I was going to say that's the realistic thing. You know, it's like you have a changing of the guard. I've gone through it. Like, I've been with the company that I work with for going on 15 years now. And it's like you see people come and go, and you have people that are like, oh, I'm so happy that that person is out the door. And you have people that are like, oh, I miss that guy as our boss or whatever. So, and, you know, when it comes to public relations, you're going to have people that are going to be told or suggested to say things to kind of save face. And there are going to be people who stay silent and don't say anything at all. So it's like you're at the mercy of whatever they're allowed to tell you. And some people will change their stories. Some people will say, you know, oh, I felt that, you know, I was told to say this in the beginning, but this is how I really felt. So it's kind of like it could be an image that's being kept up. Who knows? Again, this is what I always stand on the basis of is, you know, we only know what people let us know. There was a lot of speculation going into it that money was a driving force. It was being reported everywhere that the contract wasn't enough money. And then in this Kenny interview, he says, no, I don't think it was about the money. It was more about, you know, booking and creative power. So you're going to hear conflicting stories all over the place because maybe they don't even know. So it was an insightful interview. I think that his answers, where he didn't necessarily agree with the things that Cody was doing, he was very classy about his answers. He wasn't like disparaging Cody in any way or trying to talk him down or like, say like, oh, I'm pissed at him for this decision. Even if that's how he felt, he did it in a very non-biased sort of way. He's like, these are the facts from my perspective, and that's it.
Yeah. Look, Cupid, I know you're on the chat. I know you're scared what they're going to do with him. You should be scared because like everyone that comes into that company that's a big name, they don't treat properly, and it's just the way it is. It's the way it is. We can't sit here and argue about it. It's just the way that company rolls. Plain
our
simple.
only hope, well, not our only hope because I don't care, but if you're a Cody fan and you watch WWE, your only hope is that for some reason Cody is able to break through and be seen as the right type of main eventer, because
Roman or Brock. If your name's not Roman or Brock in that company, you're not a main eventer.
But as we've seen in WWE over, I don't know, fucking decades now, right? Yeah. There is two levels of WWE. There's WrestleMania season, and there's everything else. Everything else seems to not matter, right? Between Mania, between what?
Rumble and Mania.
Between May and June, May and January, it doesn't matter. Anybody could be champion. It's open for everybody. But once you hit Royal Rumble to Mania, those are when the real people come out. Those are when the Goldbergs and the Brocks and the Stone Cold Steve Austin with fucking a toothpick holding his neck together. They're going to have him come out of retirement.
Vince calls all the legends. Hey, pal, can you walk? All right, we're putting you on Mania.
Undertaker, all these things like that. To me, that is the biggest difference between WWE and AEW, right? Like,
literally, hey, pal, can you walk? Good enough for me. Get in the ring, pal.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, that's the thing where it's like, that's where Cody's going to struggle the most, right? Because like Seth Rollins at one point, the guy, AJ, Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, right? They were all the guy at one point, but then Vince gets tired of them. And then when it's like, oh, we need to make as much money as possible, Roman and Brock. And that's not saying Roman and Brock aren't good. They're great. They're Hall of Famers. They're legends. They're awesome. But it's just like, as a wrestler, that wears you down eventually. Like no matter what you do,
when you see it 9 times in the last 2 years.
Yeah. No matter what you do the other fucking whatever months of the year, like for 3 months, it all gets thrown to nothing. And it's unfair for talent. Like at least with AEW, if like the Hangman stuff, right? Like they're bringing in all these people, Punk, Danielson, Moxley comes back, all these things, right? You're bringing in outside people like Paige Van Sant or people like Dan Lambert who are known in the MMA community. Like you're bringing in these bigger stars, Shaq, this and this, Snoop Dogg, whatever, and Hangman's still the world champion. You didn't take the belt off of him. That belt means something. It's not, oh, let's just give it to Adam Cole because he was the number 1 free agent, or let's give it to Keith Lee because he's the number 1 free agent. Like when you win in AEW a title, it means something, and they could do the bigger stars in other feuds, and that's fine.
Yeah, it's 2 different businesses. They're the sports entertainment business. It's all about making the entertainment and pleasing the casual fans. Here, it's all about the wrestling, right? They focus more about the wrestling with the entertainment as a second thing. So that's what it is. And that was it from the Cody interview. We'll transition now into Rampage, or as we like to call here, Rampage.
Rampage.
If anyone listens to the show and doesn't get the joke whenever we say Rampage, this all started from literally. It all traces back to one source: is when Dynamite is on every Wednesday night. AEW Dynamite trends, but followed right closely behind AEW Dynamite is AEW Dynamite, DYANMITE, because people just don't know how to check their spelling, and for some reason that hashtag gets over because everyone's tweeting that hashtag because they're not looking at their spelling. I myself am a victim because I'm only a grade 2 spelling bee champion, so I can't barely spell. So I've never tweeted out Dynamite before, but I've seen it being tweeted out and I've seen it trending. But yes, that's why we say Rampage. We're like, how do we misspell Rampage? We add an extra A. So Rampage. But we're all in agreement here on the show. I'll go to my 2 co-hosts here, just the overall thoughts of Rampage. I think we're all on the same page that Rampage was only okay last night. It was a good show still, but it was only okay. It wasn't something to blow out of the water that you need to go back and watch. I would say maybe highlights just watch the Trent and Jay White main event because that was my favorite match of the night. But start with Jackie. Overall thoughts on Rampage and maybe like a favorite match from the night.
It was all right. It wasn't anything to write home about. It wasn't something that I felt that if I would have missed it live, it would have been like, oh, it took something away from me. Rampage is very interesting lately because I know going into it, we were told Rampage is not meant to be a B show. It's meant to be a continuation of AEW Dynamite. And I think in the beginning it sort of felt like it was following that narrative. And then as of late, to me, it hasn't really felt like that. It does feel quite like a B show. They'll have, like main event talent on it, but nothing in it feels like, oh my God, if I don't see this live and I have to catch the replay, I'm going to be bummed out. Overall, like, it was all right. And like you said, the main event was the star of the show. It was my first time seeing Jay White. It was my first time ever seeing a Jay White match. I will admit that. And I was fairly impressed. I don't think it's going to be like, something that's going to be blown out the water in terms of like, oh, if you want an intro, this is the match to watch. But it was good. I think Trent, since he's been back, that dude's been on a roll. Some of the matches that he's been having have been great. He's been getting a lot of momentum. They're giving him a lot of airtime, so good for him. He did the work to get back in the ring. Him and Jay White worked well together. Obviously, they have a built-in, history and chemistry there. So overall, like I said, that match took match of the night for me.
All right, Phil, let us know. Let him know.
So to me, I do agree with Jackie. To me, I don't know if I see it as Rampage as a B show. To me, it's like a showcase show, right? I think Rampage is very much like, you're going to get great wrestling. It might not push the storylines to a point where like you have to watch it, like you have to watch Rampage. To me, if I say you have to watch Rampage, it's because there's excellent matches on there, right? We remember Andrade versus Pac was on Rampage, right? When they fought, and that was like, oh, this is a must see match, right? And like, I'm talking to Rob last night, and it's like Adam Cole is basically the king of Rampage, right? And Hook has only fought on Rampage. So if you want to see Adam Cole have these great matches, you watch Rampage. If you want to see Hook at all at this point, you watch Rampage, right? You see a lot of stuff. They do a lot of booking with Jade's title on that belt too, on that show too, which is funny because TBS champion, they're booking that on TNT more. And it's just like, it's like a quick hit to me, honestly. And I know the internet's going to take this as like a diss or like me belittling it, but to me, Rampage is on the same level of Elevation and Dark in the sense of there's great matches there. You might not, the storylines are going to take a huge leap forward, but if you want to just see some great wrestling and just have fun, you watch Rampage or Elevation and Dark. And then like, if you want like the real meat and potatoes, you're going to watch Dynamite.
Yeah.
Can I pose a quick question though to you guys?
Yes, please do.
So do you feel like Jay White, being this big, unexpected appearance in AEW, do you feel like it may have been weird for them to debut his first ever match in AEW on Rampage versus a Dynamite or a pay-per-view?
No, not necessarily, because Jay White has, as much as like the newer fans like yourself, not trying to put you on the spot here, but the fans of Jay White and the fandom of New Japan will tune into Rampage to watch that match. So they're getting more eyes on Rampage. So it was smart for them to put Jay White in the main event. You got to think, Jay White right now, as much as people don't see it, I think Jay White on AEW or Rampage and even in AEW in general is a massive deal. This is a very, very big thing, and I think people need to start looking more into it a little bit. If you don't, that's fine. I think it's a massive deal. This man also is just showing how much of a workhorse and how much of a star he is in the business, because thinking about it this week, he's appeared on Dynamite. He was on Impact on Thursday. He was on Rampage last night. He's going to be at No Surrender today for Impact's pay-per-view. So this man is on 4 shows, including 1 pay-per-view in the same damn week. And he's in a very interesting Bullet Club storyline in Impact. This man is a very, very big deal for AWTV. And Insider Kimmy has let us know that this is not just a one and done. We're about to see more Jay White stuff on AEW, which is great, and I really do think at the end of his New Japan contract, whenever that may be, AEW needs to play hard for a Jay White signing. I think that guy can be a very, very big deal for the company. I've seen a lot of his promos in the past. His promos already here in AEW have been fantastic. They've been hitting. So I think they can do a lot with a Jay White.
So I think,
to me, I'm thinking. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Now go
Whoa!
ahead.
No, sorry. I was like,
Listen
I
here,
always feel bad
cocky.
when that happens. No, I always feel bad when that happens, when it's like, okay, two people are going to end up talking at the same time. I just wanted to like throw the little side note in to say that when I'm asking does it feel like, a bit of a waste? Not because I think less of Jay White. I'm saying that because Jay White is such a known star, does it feel like it's a little beneath him to start his debut match on a Rampage?
Like we said,
But
Rampage is treated as the continuation of Dynamite. So putting him in the Rampage main event, again, A, to get that following, B, to get more eyes on Rampage, and a Rampage main event, no less, because they make that a big deal. You got Mark Henry doing it's time for the main event. And they give him the promo time, live promo. Those are live promos, by the way, people, that they do before the matches. Those are very much live. So the fact that they give people that in those promos live time is amazing. So, and he got over. He won the match.
Yeah. So my thing is, one thing I want to mention. So Carrie's saying in the chat that he also did the New Japan show on Thursday because of course Impact is taped. So now. I think the reason that he ended up on Rampage was more a timing issue, right? We heard from Tony Khan that when they brought him in, right, which was when did Keith Lee debut? 2 weeks ago, right? Now?
Yeah.
All right. So when they brought him in, it was like last minute. So, to add him a part of the Dynamite / Rampage show for that week would be like too much because I'm sure Tony Khan has these shows booked out like weeks, if not months in advance. So, and I know he does stuff like on the fly a lot, but maybe he was just trying to make sure that he got Jay White in a match before No Surrender because, hey, it's wrestling, right? People can get hurt at any point, and maybe he didn't want to risk, hey, Jay White on Dynamite next week is having a big match, and then he gets hurt or something happens at No Surrender where he can't show up on Wednesday. So I think it was more of like, let's just get him in here. The Dynamite shows are packed. We have a lot going on, so we'll put him on Rampage. And like Kyle said also, to get the ratings for that show up because it was at 7 because of NBA All-Star Weekend, which that's a question I have for you guys. Is you guys like the 7 o'clock time slot? Because other than it completely throwing off my entire night because I was expecting it to be 11 and exhausted and everybody going to bed, I thought it was cool. I enjoyed it from 7 to 8.
I think they need to explore the 7 o'clock time slot. I really do think they should do that.
I agree too because it's like I always say that I suffer from fatigue during the 10 p.m. time slot where it's just like by the main event I'm like I'm exhausted. I've worked all week. It's Friday.
It's a weekend. People go out Friday night late at night, right? People are probably not necessarily going to be home to watch Rampage at that time
we're
of
not
night.
Going out.
Yeah, like I know, but like in general, I'm just saying like 7 p.m. It works out. You can watch it, and then you got the rest of the night to do stuff. You can go to sleep at a proper time. You can, I think the 7 o'clock time slot works the best for them, and I think they need to explore. I think we'll see what the ratings are for Rampage. I think they come out like Monday-ish for Rampage. I think that's when they come out for the Friday. I'm not really sure, but if the ratings are good, I think they really need to explore switching maybe to the 7 o'clock time slot. And I don't know how good
I don't know about you guys,
NXT Level Up is going to be.
I think they don't go back to 10 because they're afraid. NXT Level Up, it's a banger.
Thought the same there. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they shouldn't be at 10 p.m. anymore. That show's going to be.
It's so funny to me that for years, right? 4 years, the FCW names were so bad to the point that we all make fun of it on the show. Right, FCW / indie names are awful, and then they just start letting people use their indie names or real names when they come to WWE. Then that goes away, and we're back to all these like Braun Breakers, GG, whatever. Like these are horrible wrestling names.
They renamed Quinn McKay, but good for her because now she can own her real name, so that's good.
What it's Kelly? What? I always mess
something
it up.
Kelly Kincaid.
Yeah.
Give me. I mean, listen. It sounds Kelly Kincaid. It's not that it's a bad name, but it sounds like a fake name we would make up.
There was nothing wrong with Quinn McKay, but maybe she's smart, right? She's like, I don't want them to own my real name. So give me whatever name you want.
Kelly. I still think I like Kelly Klein because I keep getting it mixed up that it's Kelly Klein, Kelly Kincaid. It sounds like a fake reporter name we would make for the E-Fed.
Yeah, it does.
Over here, Kelly Kincaid, and we're here talking. Jesus Christ, bro. But I just can't wait till you guys meet my character in the E-Fed. Clark Malarkey, all right?
I also like the 7 p.m. time slot for the UK fan base who are big wrestling fans over there.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It sucks for them. Even Carrie over there as well. Like you think about it, 10 p.m. Eastern time over there is like 3 a.m. So if you're putting it at 7 p.m. like Quinn put in the chat, he's from the UK. 11 p.m. It's late, but it's not as late as 3 a.m. You know what I mean? So it kind of helps the UK fan base, which I know that they're planning on going to the UK eventually when things open up a little bit more. Craven's Cottage is the rumored destination for a big outside show, which is huge. That's going to draw in that's going to sell out, and it's going to be a massive crowd when they do that, and it's going to be a big show. And even if when they tour over there in general, like they do a week of Rampage and Dynamite somewhere. And I really truly believe that if they do that, they can sell at the O2 Arena. Guarantee they can sell at that arena because people are the AEW fans that are over there are been dying.
They've been dying
for AEW to go over there. So if they do the O2 Arena, people will fly in there just to go watch that AEW show. So they can sell out the O2 if they chose that to be the destination. And that's a really famous arena. So I know Tony Khan's a smart businessman. He knows what he's doing. But we'll see what happens. I'm still hoping they come up to Canada because it's still a little bit sour.
Especially since you guys had a show booked already and then COVID took it away from you.
Yeah, Full Gear.
It would have been the show that Hangman won the title.
Full Gear
would have been there.
Well, no, it wasn't Full Gear 2021. It was Full Gear 2020 that was supposed to be.
But still, Full Gear, it
was supposed to be in Toronto because Tony Khan owns a bunch of hotels here in Toronto. So
interesting.
Yeah.
They'll get around, I'm sure.
Tony Khan, please own hotels in Chicago so it could be a little easier when we're trying to book a hotel. And Tony Khan, all right, I know you listen to everything. I know Carrie, your head booker, right? I know Carrie, your head booker, is going to relay you this message. Can you please put the All Out at the United Center? We don't want it to be at the Sears Center, or whatever the hell it's called now, because there's no fucking hotels over there, all right? It is like in a wasteland by itself. It's like a 40-minute cab ride, Uber ride. It is such a pain in the ass to get out of there. It's like World War III to get out of there, right? Fucking zombie apocalypse. Right, it's harder to get out of there than it is to still watch Walking Dead at this point. So it's just like, listen, right?
Wow.
Please help us out.
Yeah, do the United Center, please. Like that's got to be a given because I know there's the history with the Now Arena and Sears Center, yada yada yada. But for the fans' sake, please make it at United, or even I don't know really much about the other arena, Allstate, where Money in the Bank was for John Cena and CM Punk. I don't know what that area is like around Allstate Arena. Maybe even that arena if they need to. If it's a nice area and it's travelable, that's not a word, but yeah.
Pretend it is. Yeah, I just think that at this point, the main thing for me is make sure you pick an arena where the capacity is larger. Don't keep selling yourself short. I think in the past years,
especially for pay-per-views,
you've seen that All Out can just sell out, boom, in a heartbeat. Like, open it up and don't be afraid to go to that bigger arena and, get more people that can actually attend the event without seeing that the tickets are sold out the minute they get into the queue.
And think about it this way, AEW and Tony Khan, because yet again, I know you're listening, right? What's the best thing? What's the best thing about wrestling Twitter? All right, is the day after a big AEW show for like a few hours, everybody's an AEW fan. Everybody is, Adam Cole, baby, he's my favorite wrestler. For a couple of hours, give us that peace. All right, the more fans you put in the building, all right, give me a little taste of peace on social media, because there was I think the closest thing that social media got to world peace, okay, wrestling social media got to world peace, was after All Out last year, because everybody's like, it's the greatest show of all time. Everybody was holding hands and singing Kumbaya, and then it all went to shit. But for one brief moment, we were all together.
I mean,
we were booming together.
Jacky's right. They cannot sell themselves short, especially at pay-per-view. Like this pay-per-view already, we're going to talk about in a second here, is going to be a massive pay-per-view. AEW's WrestleMania. We got to think. Like they could have done the Amway Center. I don't know why they chose the Additions Financial Arena when.
Yeah, but we don't know if the Amway Center has a partnership with WWE.
True.
They did the Thunderdome there for like a year.
That's right. Yeah. So speaking of, so we got more pay-per-view update during Rampage. So we'll start off with the Face of Revolution ladder match. It's already a beefy match. I'm wondering when they're going to be
men slapping meat.
I'm wondering whether they're going to be throwing in some high flyers here, or we're just going full beef.
Big ol' Haas fight.
We got Keith Lee, Wardlow, and now Powerhouse Hobbs, who defeated Dante Martin, which we had high hopes for Dante watching the match, but. I'm just sitting there going, I said it in the chat when we were watching Rampage. I'm like, okay, now they just got to go full beef. They got to add in Lance Archer. They got to bring out Paul White, put his giant singlet on and get it in there. Just be all beefy men.
All beefy.
In this
Nick
match.
Camarado.
And all reinforced ladders. They gotta nail that throughout the entire match like WWE does. It's all reinforced ladders for these big men. Man, they got to go full beef, right? Am I wrong? Like at this point, go full beef.
I mean, that's the way.
100%.
That's the way it's looking. I mean,
100%.
I don't know who else you would put in at this point.
So
I'll
there's
put 10
three
in there.
more spots.
10.
So there's three
Don't
more
forget
spots.
10, as Carrie mentioned.
Yeah, 10 can be in there. I'm thinking like Lance Archer. Who's another big guy?
Nick Camarado. Told you. He won't be
Nick
in there,
but like big men. Like I'm talking
y'all made the joke about throwing Brian Cage in for his.
Oh yeah,
his
Brian
last
Cage
hurrah.
returns, and he comes back for one match only.
John Silver, Carrie saying
John Silver is going to be the it's going to be all giant guys.
That would be the funniest thing if it's all big guys and John Silver, and we get to post him in the flexing.
Dude, and Silver's got to win that match.
Yes.
Silver wins that match. He wins that match. That'll be the biggest match of all time. But yeah, so we got more. I mean, this was more announced on Dynamite, but there's going to be a 3-way tag team match for the tag belts, and we kind of discussed it. It's almost looking like it's going to be the Bucks and Red Dragon added to that match against Jurassic Express. CM Punk and MJF is official dog collar match. That's going to be an insane match.
Epic.
Ooh.
It was confirmed, and Jackie's happy about this. Let's talk about this match.
Yeah.
Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. It has here with Rebel and Jamie Hayter versus Thunder Rosa, which I'm assuming she's going to have Mercedes Martinez come out with her as her muscle if she's going to come out with Rebel and Jamie Hayter. But for the Women's World Title, and Jackie, I'm going to go to you first here. What did you think about them announcing it for this? Because we all there was like a mixed opinions between all of us. You really were on the heavy side of it being at Revolution, but there was also some mixed opinions that maybe they push it to Double or Nothing so Britt can hold the belt for at least one full year. What do you think?
Yeah, really excited. Obviously, this was something that I was pushing for because I personally wanted to see the women's title defended at Revolution in the first place, but even more so with Thunder Rosa as the challenger. I know we've talked about Britt Baker going the full year as champion. I don't think it's absolutely necessary in terms of, people being able to look back at her title run and feel like it was any less significant because it didn't go the full 365. I think she's done a lot with that championship run as is. Thunder Rosa will be a hell of a person to take it off of her and can really run with it and bring her own flavor to her championship reign.
Latina flavor.
That Latina flavor.
Yeah.
That sabor Latina.
That sabor in the cookies, everything like that.
No, honestly, I think it's going to be a great match. They've obviously put on some amazing matches in the past. I have no doubt that this will live up to the previous hype. But in my heart of hearts, I think it really should be Thunder Rosa's time, because if she doesn't win, where do you go from there as far as their feud? You've built this up so much that it's like it almost makes sense that this would be the time for Thunder to step into that spotlight.
What do you think, Phil?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that if anything, we look back at the history of the way AEW books title changes, and for the most part, it's not to say it's expected. It's not a bad thing, but they give the fans what they want, and I feel like enough fans want Thunder Rosa to win that belt and have been, clamoring for the last few months enough that like she's getting her shot. And she needs to win now, and I think that they'll pull the trigger. And yes, I would love to see Britt Baker hold it for a year and lose at Double or Nothing, but it seems they're fast tracking this, right? I thought maybe Thunder Rosa might be doing a little thing with Jade to kind of get her away from Britt for long enough in order to get to this, or maybe a longer storyline with Mercedes, but that's not the case. I don't know, who knows? Maybe Britt wants time off, or maybe something's going on, but like I'm all for Thunder Rosa winning that belt. She's one of the most popular wrestlers on the roster, male or female. She has one of the loudest reactions, male or female. So, hey, it's time, right? Britt Baker has had a great run, has had some great things. She's won a ton of awards from it, has had some great matches. Let's get some new blood in there. Let's get Thunder Rosa in there. And, I think the big thing about this pay-per-view, as far as the women matches, is we should be getting 2 women's matches on the card, because now we have 2 women's champions. And there's no way Jade's not going to be on the card.
Oh, I just had a thought.
Maybe they do an open challenge for Jade. Oh, man,
I just had a thought. It would be huge, and it would suck to end it so early, but you want to grow this not overpowered, but this awesome run with the belt for Jade and just make her into a mega star. You know how Serena's going around with this 5-minute challenge? Yeah. Have Jade answer the challenge, put the belt on the line, and beat the one to beat Serena Deeb within those 5
That
minutes.
would be cool. It'd be
That'll
cool.
be an interesting twist.
And she's a rookie because remember, it's for rookies.
Yeah.
It'd be cool. I'm all for that. Anything to get more women's wrestling on the actual card.
That'll be cool. It's fancy booking in mind. Just like I still want, my inner self, my inner Mark self wants Britt to hold it for a whole year. That's just me. That's just I really want her to hold that belt for a full year and then have it a very big deal. Whoever dethrones her at Double or Nothing, whether it be like a girl like a Ty Conti or something like that. But I would be sitting here, wouldn't be upset if Thunder Rosa did win it at Revolution because she's so over right now with the crowd as well. As much as Britt is, Britt gets the heel boos, but it's not the go away he. It's the we love booing her because she's a heel, and then everyone does the DMD with her after. So Thunder Rosa's got that extreme popularity right now. So it would be a really cool thing to see her win the belt at Revolution. Would be a really cool moment for her. And then now it's been confirmed, and we knew it was going this way. We kind of touched base on it in the beginning. Adam Page versus Adam Cole for the World Championship at Revolution. That's another one where we're like, hey, the title might be changing hands here. We might get the start. I think it all depends on when we're going to get Kenny versus Adam, because we know that's the direction they're going to go into based off of when Kenny was first last on TV. That line that Adam dropped on him, we know that's going to be the story coming back. So whether or not they're going to do it now, and like I said earlier, Double or Nothing could be Adam Cole versus Kenny for the belt. If not, I could definitely see Hangman Page retaining, and that would be a big retain. That's just adding to his. Look at everyone that he's retained the belt against.
Yeah,
if he retains against Adam Cole, he retained the belt against Adam Cole. He beat Kenny Omega for the belt. He retained against Bryan Danielson. This man is just adding, just superstar after superstar in his title defenses. So I wouldn't be shocked if they went that direction too. That match can literally go both sides. But I want to hear what you two think. So I'll start with Phil on this one.
Whoa, I'm just saying, right?
Well,
listen, we're working or shooting. If he beats Adam Cole, is Adam Cole lower mid card?
Listen, we got this Adam Cole Lee over here.
Got Adam Cole Lee. I'm sitting home on my couch watching Adam Cole lose Orange Cassidy in the main event. It doesn't count because off the books, lights out match. But whoa, working herself. Worker shoot.
Whoa.
Listen, the match is going to be awesome regardless. I think that when Kenny and Adam feud, it won't be for the title. So I don't think Adam Cole wins here. I think some shenanigans like Carrie is saying in the chat, because we know if Carrie's saying it, it's going to happen, right? But take it to Vegas. Start the betting now. But we can kind of see this division between Adam Cole in the Undisputed Era or Red Dragon, and then Adam Cole and the Young Bucks. So I think that something's going to happen very similar to the Hangman and Kenny stuff, where the Bucks helped Kenny at first and then didn't help Kenny at Full Gear. That's how Hangman won. I think that there's going to be a moment in the match where the Bucks have the chance to help Adam Cole win, and they don't.
Okay, yeah,
and
back to what you're saying.
And then that helps Hangman win. They don't specifically help Hangman win, but they help him by not interfering for Adam. And then that leads to Adam and the Bucks storyline on the side going over there. And then Kenny will eventually come back. And then maybe at Double or Nothing, we get Kenny versus Adam or maybe it's Kenny and the Bucks versus Adam and Red Dragon. Right, we get this 6-man dream match that we wanted when Adam and Undisputed Era was in NXT. So we get something cool, and then we have Hangman versus MJF, because I think honestly MJF is going to be the next world champion.
Man, Double or Nothing is going to be so big. You got to think about it's going to be in Las Vegas, Nevada. The venue's not announced yet, but not only that, we also have 2 basically announced matches for Double or Nothing. The winners, the finals of the Owen Hart tournament are going to be there for both men and women.
They start Wednesday.
Yeah,
the Wednesday after Revolution they start, right?
So oh God, Double or Nothing is going to be very, very big, very big. I wouldn't be surprised if TK came out and said, "Yo, this is actually our WrestleMania Double or Nothing." It's always been our WrestleMania. It's been our first pay-per-view. But Jacky,
poor TK's never going to live that down. Never ever. I am kind of on Phil's same wavelength here. I don't think we're going to see a title change at the pay-per-view. I think Hangman still has a good run left in him. And it would be major for him to defeat Adam Cole in this. Yes, you're going to get the people that are going to look at this and see, I told you so. They're not booking Adam Cole like a star or whatever. People are always going to say what they're going to say anyway. I think there is more of a story going into, like Phil said, if there was some Bucks involvement in it, there's the dissension already being built with the Red Dragon and Bucks and Cole situation, and Kenny kind of like looming in the background. So to me, it doesn't hurt Adam Cole to lose this match because it's going to further other storylines. As far as the speculation that MJF could be the next champion, I think in terms of what they've been trying to do, like formula wise, it would make a lot of sense, and it would be like the first like super like homegrown talent to really hold that belt. So can't confirm obviously that would be the way that they go, but I wouldn't be mad at it if that's how they did it, because for MJF and his monster heel heat to be the one to take the belt off of one of the most beloved people in the company, that would be some shit.
So he'd have to beat CM Punk then at Revolution in a dog collar match.
Possible. I think
so that
I
means
think
he go 3-0 against CM Punk. Technically 3-0,
and that's what gets him the title shot. That's what puts him in line, and they start that big storyline with them.
So I guess
the one thing I do want to say before you say what you can say, Kyle. So correction, right, from Insider Kimmy. May 11th starts the Owen Hart tournament.
Yeah,
I thought the finals.
Yeah, she's worried how short it is. Not really, Kimmy. If you think about it, you look at the calendar. They have 2 shows a week to book matches, so that tournament can go really fast in 3 weeks, like a big tournament. So I imagine there'd be matches both on every Dynamite and Rampage going all the way towards the pay-per-view. So, and the pay-per-view's in June, right? It's like the first weekend in June, so it's not in May anymore. So, well, at least this year. I thought, wait, is it in June? I swore I thought I seen it before. It's like the first weekend in June.
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
Kimmy says no, but I swear to God, Dave, I seen somewhere that Double or Nothing was going to be in June.
Yeah, Double
like
or
the
Nothing
first weekend in June.
We've talked about it. We talked about it on the show.
I swear. See, I'm not losing my mind here. No, it's the first weekend in June that they're doing Double or Nothing.
Is it because they pushed Revolution a little later than normal that they had to shift over? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, regardless, both pay-per-views are looking to be stacked, and it's going to be a good year for AEW pay-per-view wise.
Anyways, yeah, again.
It's saying on Wikipedia, it's saying May 2022.
Wikipedia is often edited by people, so we never know. I remember reading
TBD.
somewhere. I'll find it. It said June. Anyways, overall thoughts on Rampage, again, like we said, normal, good, still a good show. We had Dark Order 10 versus Adam Cole. We had Powerhouse Hobbs against Dante Martin. The girl that faced Serena Deeb her name was Angelica Risk. Obviously Serena Deeb is just powering her way through these people. We had all those announcements for Revolution, and we had the main event of Jay White and Trent Beretta. Overall, great show. Can't wait for next week's Dynamite and Rampage. It's going to be awesome, guys. But that's going to wrap it up here for Good Morning Elite. It's been another fantastic show, and you guys know how we do our housekeeping at the end of the show. Make sure you guys are following us if you want to support the show on Patreon, patreon.com/ElitePOV. You guys, there's some great tiers for you guys to check out on there, $1, $5, $10, and $20 respectively. If you are a $20 tier member, the best in the world one. Shouts to Jermazing. I believe there's another person there, or a few other people there. You guys, if you subscribe to that tier, that specifically gets you onto this show. Good Morning Elite. We will book you into the show. You'll be a guest on this show. You can talk AEW with us on this show specifically. So thank you so much to all our Patreons, or patrons, I guess you call them, out there who continue to support us at Elite POV. Guys, we're working on so many things. We had a meeting last night before Rampage. We have so many cool things on the way for you guys, especially for our patrons. Some really cool content on the way that we're going to be starting to put in full gear, no pun intended, coming soon enough. But also, you guys can follow us on social media on Twitter at twitter.com/ElitePOV, on Instagram at ElitePOV, and on TikTok, Elite POV Clips. I was going to say all Elite Wrestling Clips. That's weird. Elite POV Clips. But then you can also follow myself at All Elite Kyle on social media, especially just Twitter. Don't go on Instagram because I don't go on Instagram. But Jackie, let them know.
You can follow me on Twitter at LoveYouMake24, and you can follow me on Instagram at JacksTheDrawPOV.
Oh, I like that. And then Mr. Philium, let him know.
So you can follow me on Twitter at Philium Elite. And if you want to follow me becoming the most popular person on TikTok.
Yeah, he's going to leave us soon.
It's at the Jedi Prince.
As soon as Phil
On
becomes
TikTok.
a trendy TikTok person, he's gone. He's
Listen, will I create a TikTok?
he's gonna become the
dance
Cody Rhodes of Elite POV.
100%.
Here we go.
100%, bro. I'm gonna become an influencer. I'm gonna start dancing on TikTok, and I'm gonna get a dance for Fortnite. That's a part of my vision board.
That's your roadmap.
Yeah, that's my roadmap for because we're very similar to a lounge here.
Yeah,
recently.
Yeah, if you
been
that's
told.
why you got the lounge music playing right now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The
I've been
lounge
told
music.
we're very lounge-like.
Yeah.
Here, so
We're
there's
very
my
loungy.
roadmap.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for tuning in every Saturday morning. We're here live when we can be. Good morning, Elite, live at 10 a.m. on Twitch. And remember, folks, like always, you don't need a coffee cup to have a coffee.